Howdy YouTube. Mike Howell here for Naps, New Age Pipe Smokers. Hope y'all are doing well this morning. It's a beautiful, somewhat rainy, but nice and warm Sunday morning. Smoking some Cornell and Diehl small batch Carolina Red Flake with Perique. I just got in the mail yesterday. And I have to say, I am very impressed with it. The Cornell and Diehl small batch blends, they've been hit or miss for me. Some of them are amazing. San Sepulcro is one of my all-time favorite blends. Sun Bear is really good. 8 State Burley was okay. It's a decent blend, but I still can't get over the fact that they named it 8 State Burley when it tastes like it's at least half Orientals. I think that one will probably get better with some age after the flavors have some time to marry. Anyway though, this Carolina Red Flake with Perique. The original Carolina Red Flake, I've heard people describe it as one-dimensional, and I guess I can kind of get that. I don't know if I would call it one-dimensional myself. I'd say it's more subtle. There's definitely some complexity and some good flavors there, but it's something that you really have to like sit down and smoke slowly and kind of like pick apart and pay attention to if you really want to get that aspect of it. Otherwise, like if you're just puffing along and, you know, outside chopping wood or fucking watching TV or something like that, then I could definitely see where it would be just a one-dimensional bland sort of smoke. But it's not bad. It wasn't like, you know, one of my absolute favorites, but good enough that I thought, wow, with the addition of Perique, it'll probably be pretty good too. So I got myself a couple tins of this. And I have to say, the addition of the Perique, and this particular Perique, authentic St. James Parish Perique, it really elevates this blend to something special. The original Carolina Red Flake was good, but like I said, I can see how some people called it sort of monochromatic, kind of one-dimensional. But this stuff, the Perique just adds that extra dimension, that extra, you know, nuance of flavor. The flakes are, I don't know if you can see that very well. It's still early out here, it's cloudy and dark, but the flakes are your typical Cornell and Diehl flakes. Very loose, soft flakes. They mostly fall apart to a ready rubbed in the tin. I'm not complaining. I like them for that aspect, although, you know, I like other types of flakes too. They're, the tin note is very unassuming. You can smell the Perique, but you don't get that overpoweringly pungent Perique smell like you do with a heavier Perique blend. But you get just a little bit of it, but it's mostly that unassuming red Virginia smell. It's citrusy. You definitely get the citrus. That's what I get right up front, that citrusy red Virginia smell. A little bit of that earthy, you know, mustiness from the Perique, but mostly just that citrusy, little bit of the bread, yeasty notes in it, but not much, just a little bit. In the smoke, though, in the smoke, you definitely, as the bowl progresses, once you get to about the 1/3 of the way point through the bowl, the Virginia's complexity starts to pick up, which is something I notice with most Virginias. Once you get to the 1/3, 1/2 way point, that's when they really start to taste really good. But at the start, you get the bright citrusy notes, that little bit of that breadiness, slight tanginess. But then when you get to that 1/3 of the way, 1/2 way point, that's when the Perique really starts to make itself known. You start getting those like dark fruit notes, like stewed fruit notes. Getting that tingle on the retrohale. And as the Perique plays up and you start to get those dark fruit notes from it and that slight musty earthiness, it starts to bring out more good complex flavors from the Virginias. Really excellent. I have to say, this is probably I'm only a few bowls into my first tin of this, and I think this might be at least my number 2 favorite in the small batch line from C&D so far. San Sepulcro being my number 1. I absolutely love that stuff. But this is close. This is really good. Definitely stands head and shoulders above the original Carolina Red Flake, in my opinion. And it just keeps getting better. I'm not even at the halfway point of this bowl yet, and the Perique flavor is already very present. This is really good now, but I bet in like 5 years or so, it's going to be absolutely out of this world amazing. Cornell and Diehl can be really polarizing. Some people absolutely love their blends. I would say at least half of my go-to blends, if not more, that I smoke on a daily basis are Cornell and Diehl. And some people just really don't like their stuff. But I can understand that there's some of their blends that are just not for me. I mean, their catalog is so huge, you know. Obviously, there's going to be some that people don't like, and there's a lot that I really don't care for, but when they hit it out of the park, they hit it all the way out of the fucking park. And they certainly did with this. It's just to die for. I give it a little bit of dry time, about 20 minutes or so. Just lay out what I know I'll need for a bowl on a tray or a paper plate, something like that. It doesn't need much. You could smoke it straight out of the tin, and I'm sure it would be just fine. But I tend to let all my flakes dry just a little bit because it seems to make them smoke a little bit easier. No bite either. As you guys can see, I mean, I'm not like totally choo-choo training away at this, but I smoke pretty fast. Especially times when I'm not talking. And I get no bite at all. The bowl gets a little bit warm. I mean, as would be expected with a straight red Virginia with just a little Perique. But that's okay. I can deal with a warm bowl as long as it's not, you know, lighting my mouth on fire. So yeah, those are my thoughts on the Carolina Red Flake with Perique. I can definitely recommend it. If you get a chance, pick some up if you haven't already. I haven't checked. I'm not sure if it's still available places or if they already sold out of all that they made. We got 15,000 tins, so might be lucky. There might still be some around. If not, like always, I'm sure there are people who bought, you know, 20, 30, 40 of the sons of bitches, and they'll be showing up on the secondary market before you know it at grossly inflated prices. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you all have a good day.